to do. There's no point for that, you know. But the story had to come tally with what is happening today. People have to understand a message to people to understand the reason why. So a story has to be put out there to tell them why that we are in different languages. This is why. The Koreans will have their own version too. And so if you relate that to this, which is suggesting through Jesus Christ, who knew all things at that time also, and is seen as, you know, a prophet of God, or a son of God, a true messenger. And he says that, I've been trying to bring you together. That disproves these kind of things here. The way God wants to bring people together, he will not end up wanting to split them, because different languages definitely split people. And if he wanted to stop them, and he knows also that the future, because this is after Genesis, is way back, and this was at this was more current compared to Genesis. So before Jesus came and did his work at that time, God, who was there in Genesis, knew this moment that Jesus came. He knew this moment. He knew what Jesus had to alter at that time. He's all-knowing God. So why would he do this at this time, knowing what the future is? He wouldn't do that. So in the same Bible, we are having things that I can use to explain why I say what I say, that God cannot do that. God will not do that. Wise, omniscient, omnipotent God will not such a words here or take the actions here, whilst he will end up saying somebody telling that he wants to unite you people. But even here, it is more to do with the Jerusalem, the unity of Jerusalem, not the entire world, just the Jews in the New Testament of Jesus. His work only for the Jews, except later when somebody made some more sensible, obedience to his call, and then he says, "Oh, I didn't know that. I thought I was for the Jews, but I'm also there to help the Gentiles." He says, even the cramp. He said, "I'm here." The woman came to him for him to heal him, and he said, "But you are not a Jew. How can I?" The dogs, proverbially, he says, the food is not for the dogs, but it is for what, the children, or something like that. He said that she answered and said, "But even the crumbs that fall from the table, the dogs eat it." So what difference does it make? If the dog can eat the crumbs, he can also eat the food on the table. So it's all the same thing. The woman, Jesus said, "Oh, you have faith. You really have faith. In that sense, somehow, you really believe in what I do, or what the faith of what the Jewish people have. And so you similarly deserve salvation. You deserve to be saved." And he blessed that woman, sanctified her, that kind of thing. So in the main, even it's for the Jews, somehow it's also to bring everything together. The idea, the test here, which suggests that God wants everything to be, his willingness to want things to be together, of course, things to be together, not to be apart. And he cried out here saying that, "How I've been trying, but you are not willing. Bring you together, but you are not willing." And for some reason, why they are not willing, I don't know. Even if they are not willing, God can still bring them together. Because if what happened in Genesis, he did it, then he could have reversed. He can reverse what he did. He can even make us right now speak one language rather than, and that can also resolve a lot of issues. The differences of people will just sometimes disappear. We'll tend to respect ourselves and see ourselves as more brothers than anything. So it's another test to really consider. And 6:3 has got another. Genesis 6:3 also has some, relevance to something in the same test in Genesis 11. So basically, with 11, we've revealed here the things about Noah, God's views, and tests that really give us a suggestion of God's intentions, and telling us that, to me, God did not do that. God won't do that. The all-knowing God won't do that, compared to what I read in the New Testament, Matthew 23 and verse 37. God will not do that. God has got the ability beyond our thoughts, and he will not let these things happen, put himself in any contradictions. But this also, there are even other tests that suggest that God wants us to be together. At the end of the day, what is the gospel about? Why are they reaching out the whole world? Why is the church trying to reach out? Why is everybody being brought together? Why is the message, or what is the gospel about? Is to bring people together. Or no matter where you are, Gentiles and Jews, whatever it is, others who are being called, bring everything together. That is the idea. That's what God wants to do. Or that's what God's intention is to do. It's obvious. The book, even if we don't look at the text from what I've just quoted in 37, Matthew 23 to 37, we can still say that, yes. So God would not set confusion. Even if you set confusion, he'll do it in a different way. I don't think he'll do it in that way. But a believer will say, yeah, but that's your view. God has a reason why he did it that way. If he has a reason and he did it that way, fine. You understand? Fine. But if he did it that way, and he's also making suggestions in New Testament to tell you that he wants to bring you together, then we have a question to ask. What is the idea, the reason behind him putting us into this situation of thoughts where we are being almost confused here and there? Knowing you and what you are, we don't think that you should do that. Already we've seen that you're doing mistakes and you're sorry for the mistakes you're doing. You don't have to do mistakes. If you do mistakes, then we are bound to do even worse. But you're doing mistakes, you're sorry for the mistakes, you're correcting them. You're sorry for the things that you do. If they are not mistakes, you will not feel sorry for them, because they were mistakes. That's why you feel sorry for what you have done. Not what we did, but what you did. We realize that we were just men. We were something that you have just created. And that should suggest, just as I was saying, that if God feel that way, I was feeling the same way, that a human being will be upset with his creation or his robot. There's no really good reason. It's not a solid thing for a human being to, even it's not comparable to your own child. For you to sort of think along that line for your own child, you want to correct your child, rather you start punishing that computer, your creation. Your child, fine, you know somehow that you're not fully, entirely responsible for just the child. You're doing a role, you're taking care of the child, but not necessarily, even though it may be your child, but that child has got some right to live in certain ways. So if you want to override that and make things better, you sort of exercise some force on the child. And that's all as far as you can be, or as far as you can do. But you can do the same thing to a robot. It will make you look stupid. So somebody seeing you hitting a robot or some sort of a thing that has been created by man, trying to correct it, you look ridiculous in the eyes of people. That's how it look like. If God keep punishing human race, boom, chastising, beating people, beating us, it makes him look ridiculous. He doesn't have to do that. I don't think God has to do that. If God wants to change us or make us anything that he wants to do, he can correct us. He can do it not through the means of chastisement, putting us through pain, frustration. He can do it just by the click of a hand. He can come in and refix whatever is faulty on us that makes us not function, just like a man would do to a car, a robot, an iron, or anything that he has created. Just like a man would do to anything that he has created or imagined and has, put into place. He would do it's a statue built by a man breaks. He will go find something and patch it up. If I get sore or some sort of injure my leg, what I expect God to do is to come and to heal that wound, cover it up with something, let it become better, ease the pain and make me better to walk. Not God becoming angry at me. For what reason God will have to be angry at me? To the extent that even if I possess an evil spirit coming to me, I don't see them. They came into me. Sons of God, spirits of whatever. I expect God not to be angry, striking at me and lashing me like they beat certain people to cast out demons from them. I expect God to cast it out easily, quietly. Just move out of this person. It's not your property, it's mine. Get out of that. God coming in and taking it out. If I do something wrong, which is considered as sin, whatever caused me to do the sin, it's just God coming. And if it's some veins that was not working straight, he can see straight ahead. I don't need to go and lie in a CT scan to find out what my brains are working and what is going to resolve my madness or my depression. God had to just look at me